Right now on Hoosier News Source, the bill in the State House that could ban transgender athletes from competing in school sports. And Jacob School of Music students still demanding justice for a sexual assault that happened in 2015.
And I have updates on February temperatures and winter storm miles. Hoosier News Source starts now.
Hello and welcome to Hoosier News Source. I'm Ashton Hackman. A recent Indiana House bill is receiving criticism for its attempt to stipulate who can compete in Indiana school athletics. The bill would prohibit transgender girls from playing school sports. Opponents of the bill argue that it would allow potentially harmful discrimination to transgender youth, while those who support it worry other girls would be passed up for athletic opportunities. Jaden Boudreau, the vice president of the Queer Student Union at IU, said that concerns over winning should come second to giving kids the opportunity to play.
The large majority of kids don't even make it to a professional level where a lot of these critical conversations are happening, and so the important thing here, I think, is to just let trans kids play. That's what kids should be doing anyway, and trans kids are still kids.
The bill passed through the House 66-30 last month and is now moving to the Indiana Senate. It's been nearly 3 weeks since the IDS released an in-depth article over IU's handling of Jacob School of Music student Chris Parker, and students are still demanding action. The university suspended the jazz student in 2015 after being found responsible for sexually assaulting a fellow student. The university banned Parker from campus on the threat of expulsion or police charges for violating the no trespass order. Parker broke those suspension rules but was only suspended again and not expelled. Many within the music school feel that Jacobs and IU failed to take appropriate action against Parker.
I definitely think the school should have done more. If they said that they were going to expel him and they didn't, that's kind of bad on their part. You have to commit to what you're going to say, especially as a huge university like this.
For now, Parker is continuing to complete his undergraduate degree here at IU. The university and the Jacob School of Music have not released a statement on the IDS article. Now joining us with this week's weather forecast is Kayla Craig. Kayla.
Thanks, Ashton. So far this February, much of the Midwest, including Bloomington, has experienced lower than average temperatures by around 3 to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Texas and New Mexico have seen the coldest anomaly of 5 to 8 degrees below average. On a warmer note, parts of New England and the Northwest have seen temperatures 3 to 6 degrees higher than average. Now let's take a look at winter storm miles. As we move into Wednesday and Thursday, winter storm miles will impact much of the Midwest, bringing snow, ice, heavy rain, and even a few severe thunderstorms in the south. Beginning Thursday morning, rain will spread across our area into the late evening. Some wintry precipitation will be possible for Bloomington as temperatures begin to drop, but expect mostly rain. Now let's see what we can expect for the rest of the week. Wednesday into Thursday, we'll see some higher temperatures as the winter storm miles rolls through. Temperatures will drop down, though, into the low 20s on Thursday night. Friday will hang around freezing before temperatures trend upwards into next week, with rain chances returning Tuesday. Stay safe and warm, and have a great week. Ashton, back to you.
Thanks, Kayla. Coming up on Hoosier News Source, we have the latest on international news from around the world, and learn more about a new way to discover if your ancestors graduated from IU. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now joining us in studio for a look at what's going on around the world is HNS reporter Olivia Oliver. Olivia.
Thanks, Ashton. Tensions are rising as Russia surrounds Ukraine on 3 sides as of this past weekend. The U.S. estimates that there are around over 100,000 Russian troops surrounding Ukraine. President Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke over the phone to discuss the situation, during which Biden said that the U.S. would respond decisively to an invasion. This happened mere hours after the U.S. removed some of its forces from Ukraine and ordered an evacuation of American citizens. And Canadian police have arrested anti-vaccine mandate protesters for blocking a bridge on the U.S.-Canada border. Those arrested will be charged with mischief for blocking one of the busiest crossings between the United States and Canada, according to the Associated Press. Protesters have kept the bridge closed off for days, affecting over $392 million in border transactions for each one of those days. And over in England, updates from the Royal Palace. Camilla tested positive for COVID days after her husband, Prince Charles. Queen Elizabeth apparently had contact with Prince Charles recently and is being monitored closely. This announcement comes a week after the Queen confirmed Camilla's official title as Queen when Philip becomes king. The palace made the announcement for the Platinum Jubilee, marking the Queen's 70th year of rule. The announcement stands contrary to previous mentions of the title Princess Consort in respect for the late Princess Diana. That's all for Around the World this week. Ashton, back to you.
Thanks, Olivia. IU recently launched the first ever database that can tell users what year alumni graduated and what they studied. The IU Bloomington Degree Compendium currently holds the names, graduation years, and degrees of all graduates from 1830 to 1890. The Office of the Registrar is working on expanding the database to include information from all Bloomington graduates. The process is tedious, though, as all academic records before 1966 were paper-based. With funding from the IU Bicentennial, IU was able to hire a third-party vendor to digitize records for more than 98,000 students. The database can be found at allgrads.indiana.edu. Mason Williams now joins us with the latest on IU sports. Mason?
Thanks, Ashton. We tip off this past weekend in IU athletics with men's basketball. The Hoosiers traveled to East Lansing on Saturday to take on the 17th-ranked Michigan State Spartans. Coach Woodson's squad continued their rough stretch of play, falling in defeat 76-61. Shooting struggles and foul trouble helped facilitate IU's third straight loss, handing them their first losing streak since the end of last season. The men's team is now 16-8 on the year. Moving to the women's team, however, the 5th-ranked Hoosiers were in action twice over the weekend, both at home versus Michigan State and away to Nebraska. Grace Berger led IU in an 18-point win over the Spartans behind a career-high 29 points on Saturday, but struggles abounded in a tough 17-point loss to the Cornhuskers Monday night. The split on the weekend means IU now sits at 18-4 on the season. Moving forward, let's take a brief look ahead to what you can expect from IU athletics this week. Women's swim and dive heads into the Big Ten Championships, looking to reclaim the title for the first time since 2019. Elsewhere, 2 more opportunities for women's basketball, the return of IU baseball, and a whole slew of other sports make this another busy weekend for IU fans. That's it for sports this week. Ashton, back to you.
Thanks, Mason, and thank you for watching this week's episode of Hoosier News Source. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IUSTV News. I'm Ashton Ackman from Bloomington, Indiana. We'll see you next time.